Thanks for coming. Inviting you here today, I wanted to open it up to our media. This recovery center is really an integral piece of the football operations center, and it was a missing piece. And we think now that we now know that this entire football operations building is a high performance center. And with this addition, we believe that we have the finest operations building in the country. So what is it exactly? It allows us now to keep our players in a position where they can recover, and we can get our players to perform at the highest level all year. And that's what this is about. We're talking about the potential of 17 college football games, which is equal to an NFL schedule. And to do that, they've got to learn about recovery. At first we built this area and it was quote unquote seen as the players' lounge. And I'm saying this in all honesty, this is where the guys now come to wait for treatments. And that's a really good thing. And it becomes a waiting room now for them to get into the sleep room or to get downstairs into a number of different modalities. And I think it's important that you get that perspective from the head football coach, but I think our head athletic trainer can best work you through this building and show you really the most important elements. And you're going to see there are a couple of other things here. There's certainly a barber shop. There's an ability for our guys to do podcasts, to do branding here. So there are other opportunities. As you can see, the guys can relax here. They can go out and be on a balcony. But the real focus here was for recovery. And that's what we want to show you today is how we go through that. Today is a recovery day for our team, but it's an optional recovery day because it is a day off. We'll have 4 rotations today where our guys will go through 4 different stations of recovery. And Owen is going to kind of show you the stations. We have our staff in position to show you that. Owen is going to kind of work you through the building and show you the different areas. But I thought I would just kick it off. And Owen, if you could come on up here. And he's really been the force in driving this and getting this to the educational piece that Owen has presented to our team and how to use everything has really gotten this thing off the ground to the point where our players want to be here. So Owen, I'm going to let you take it and kind of move it from here.
All right, thanks, sir. Well, our guys, they like to get lined up real good right before camp, but it's another place to just kind of create that atmosphere, team atmosphere, where they can kind of get together, collaborate, chop it up, kind of deal with what their daily stuff is that they want to talk to each other about. But it's a good team bonding deal. And then Brandon's here. This is our branding area. I know branding. I kind of ran together really weird, but he's going to talk about this area that we developed for our guys as well.
Yeah, so they're putting the finally finishing touches on it. We'll be able to host podcasts in here. We'll meet with our players, talk about their brand, NIL, and then you can see it's the path to your brand. So it goes back to that path for whatever you want to do. So life outside of football, really cool pictures of guys that have been here, and just showing off everything that we can do here at LSU. So like I said, it'll be 225 Studios. We'll host podcasts. We'll do interviews in here, but just a cool spot for our guys to build off the platform that we have here.
And you'll notice through this whole thing, there's a flow to it on purpose, that we have all that area right here as the players' lounge where guys will be able to just chill, link up, talk through, do this, get comfortable, get in the barbershop, and then be able to create their brand as well as recovery piece with locker rooms, with coaches' offices, and then flow downstairs in the other area. It's a very efficient use of space and time for our student athletes, since they're obviously full of academics, And having that all in one building where it's right there, they can collaborate with each other, and then as well as staff, it lends to all of us collaborating even further. So we'll kind of see that as we flow through the building. Right now, we'll actually take you down this hallway down here, which is one of our big recovery suites that we have 3 different areas in, and we'll talk through all those areas. We also have Dr. Arnold's office down here, another key component to just our player development, both on and off the field. And what's nice about having his office up here, again, is this is a collection point. So all of our guys are going to pass through here. So they know Dr. Arnold's right there and have access to him at any time. Again, one of the things that we really want to invest in is our guys, both on and off the field, and that's a good way to do it as well. So follow me, we'll go into our recovery suite.
You see the lighting, just to add, this is part of that path, and so you'll see it all on the first floor.
There we go. Oops. Yeah. Programs teach them, they can download videos that we have in their files so they can go through if they're dealing with something or they just want a general over body myofascial release. They can use those tools, and we have videos specifically made up for them. They can come in this room, get that, and combine it with our Normatec chairs. From there, we're going to go into what will be our sleep pod area, as well as our hydrotherapy massage beds. Yeah, go ahead. I'll turn it off in a second, bud. You're good. You're good. You're good. Go for it. You're good. Go back to sleep, and then we'll turn the lights off for you in a second. So hydro massage recliners are really nice. We use that again for that myofascial relaxation state. It has multiple settings, so we can do a relaxation massage with water, or we could do what I would do an acupressure massage, where the actual jets will feel tension within the body and adjust the pressure that it gives. So it could increase pressure certain areas in the body that might have more tension, or it feels a little bit more of a rebound effect. So then we can kind of work out those knots as well. So those guys have access to that. They can also set the temperature on it. So whatever comfort level, some people like it colder and are more comfortable colder. Some people like it hotter and more comfortable hotter. So we have that level to be able to set up on that. Again, it gives you either one of those two things, whether you want a relaxation massage, which will get you body rejuvenated both physically and mentally, or whether you want to really get after an acupressure. We just use that as an adjunct throughout every day to do that. And then these sleep pods, what's really great about these sleep pods, right, is you're looking at 20 to 45 minute nap in these sleep pods is very conducive to very much so a general 5-hour sleep at night, okay? You're not gonna get as much recovery as you would in regular sleep because of REM sleep, but these are close. And you go to 20 to 45 minutes. They have special lighting, special music to be able to get you in a place of sleep and sound sleep. They also have heat and vibration as well, so we can adjust temperature, we can adjust incline, whatever is most comfortable. It's supposed to be 0 gravity, so it's going to get you into that state of full body recovery. Again, that goes back to both physical and mental well-being and being able to get yourself in a better place. And with the schedule our guys have, these are huge because sometimes, right, you're up studying, you got a midterm, you got a quiz, you got whatever, you might be studying late at night. You need to come up and make up that sleep banking. It's basically called sleep banking, is being able to make up that sleep. And this is the way to do it, because sleeping in a locker room where there's background ambient noise and all that other stuff that'll distract you, you won't actually get that quality sleep. But you can actually do true sleep banking in these nap pods. Now, what you don't see, because it's not completely fully functional yet behind that door, is called our neuroplasticity lab. All right, and the reason why we put it in there with these, I'll tell you in a second. But the neuroplasticity lab is a place that we're going to bring guys in, do some kind of mental prep neurocognitive prepping with reaction time, and then use VR goggles with Jack Marucci and his group, use VR goggles to show up different formations of opponents that we're going to have, be able to look through that, get different coverage options, read through whatever quarterback can do his reads, all those kinds of things in real live time on new opponents, right? Anybody we might be facing down the road. So when they learn all that, the best way to do and retain that information is to take a nap right afterwards. So anything you learn brand new, you're going to want to retain that information through napping afterwards instead of going about your business. You'll actually retain 75% more of that new information if you take a nap after learning something new than if you just go about your business or go grab a coffee or whatever you want to do for the rest of the day. So that's the other reason why we kind of put this combination together in here, cutting edge technology of neuroplasticity and how to actually develop that memory and that cognition to a higher level on a consistent basis. So that's kind of what we use this general area for. So this is where you're gonna have to be careful about what you shoot, because we are in the middle of treatment. So the general training room will be over to your right. So just make sure you're cognizant about shooting down. Exactly what it's for everybody to get their body back in a better place than where we left it off, right? Again, we're taxing our student athletes both physically and mentally every day, right? So the point of this is to be able to get everybody's body back and at a cellular level back to status quo, or even better than what it was before it went into that activity. So what we have here is we have our cryo chamber right there. That's a 3-minute treatment. It's like minus 155 degrees Fahrenheit. You go in there for 3 minutes, and that'll be a full body cryotherapy. I will tell you this, our guys love using it, not just from a physical standpoint, but from a mental standpoint. They go in there and they feel rejuvenated, they feel refreshed, they're ready to get after the rest of the day. And you can do that almost any point in time during the day. A lot of guys like to do it right after going to classes before they got to get geared up for practice. So we give them about 2-3 hours to get recovered from that treatment session, and then they're ready to go out on the field, both professionally, mentally, and physically. And then this is our red light therapy. This is actually cellular mechanics. This basically helps the mitochondria in the cells act faster and synthesize protein quicker, which helps recovery quicker. So 20 minutes in this is all about cellular recovery and being able to produce more cells, because every time we do anything in the weight room, in rehab, out on the field, we're breaking down cells, right? So it's all about regeneration. So every time you break something out, you want to regenerate it. So this is one of our big pieces that our guys like to use. It also has a good aspect, or a good mental aspect, where guys can really use this from a vitamin D therapy session as well, and they get that going through their body so that they actually synthesize more neurotransmitters within their brain, have better activity throughout brain function. So those are the two things that we have in this room. We're actually going to be adding another cryo chamber, and we are going to be adding a hyperbaric oxygen chamber as well to this room over in the next 6 months. Again, also just talking about that cellular recovery level, because we want to work from the ground up, right? And so everything comes from a cellular recovery standpoint first. So that's kind of why we named this our regeneration room. Toboggans, or whatever you guys want to call them, and then mittens and little foot covers, just because of the appendages and the extreme cold. We want to make sure we protect all that going in. But they'll in just shorts with no shirt on. And we'll show you how it works.
We'll be nice. I'll leave the shirt on for everyone.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll let you do that first.
That should be. Let's get that shot.
All right. We good?
Everybody good?
All right.
Go for it, buddy.
All right. Thank you.
I'm going too. I ain't gonna wow. We're done. It's over.
All right, we'll see you guys. Only we're not doing real actual water-based. Most of them were water-based, where you have to float in water with a high content of salt, right? It's harder for student athletes in the human body to actually be able to get that REM sleep that you want within these. So again, this is a 20 to 45 minute treatment. So what we did was we have that salt, that salt water that gives you that buoyancy, only we put it in a bed wrap. so that you can actually fall asleep, right? You're not worried about turning over, maybe, anyways, all the fear that comes with water and trying to sleep in water, right? You don't have that fear here. It's actually a zero gravity bed. And again, what the use for this for is big on neurocognition, right? It's really huge on cellular brain recovery. So we actually like to use these both from the standpoint of full body recovery, but we'll do these with anybody that has a concussion history or is actively returning from a concussion. I have a lot of really, really good results on fully healing those concussions and coming back without having recurrence of a concussion, or at least getting them through the tougher stages a lot quicker. And so again, that helps that brain healing a lot quicker and more thoroughly. And basically you just sit in here and it's nice and warm too, it's 91 degrees. Use a couple quick controls, just drop the bed. And now he's just floating on water.
Usually my legs would sink.
Yep.
Wilson, can you give some thoughts? Instant reaction?
I mean, it just supports you really well. Like, I mean, I'm not really feeling the water, of course, I mean, because all the plastic. And you just sort of are suspended.
Yep, just floating.
Yeah.
Hell of a speaker, Wilson. Hell of a speaker. Or we're trying to fix somebody in the hand, it gets them up to 80% of their body weight off them. We can go anywhere from 20% body weight to 80% body weight decrease while we're doing it, and then we'll get them running in there, kind of get them working on return to play, or rehab and all that. Nutrition.
So we're still putting the final touches on here. So in here, you'll see that we're going to have things like meal prep meals, meal prep style meals in here for them. Next to their fluids, because we're constantly hydrating. Constantly doing sweat testing here. We're also part of beta testing as far as research studies and stuff like that for our players too, to make sure that we're improving their performance and recovery. And we wanted to make sure that it's a quick access point in the middle from athletic development, sports medicine, and straight to the field. Like, you always got to come here in the center to make sure that you're fueling for work required. So that's why you'll see as far as here, fuel for work required, feed the beast, performance nutrition. We want to make sure that they're always eating, always hydrating, always performing, right? And always recovering. So in here, we want them to make sure that they're having even a more home feel. So sit down and eat. Like right now, they're in meetings right now, but you'll actually see the guys sitting here, relaxing in between the times from just the regular breakfast, lunch, and dinner hours. All right, because these guys got to eat anytime between 4 to 7 times a day in order to make sure that they're having what they need, right? So they'll chill, they'll relax. My office is always open, so is my assistant and my fellows, Morgan and Jesse. And we'll make sure that it's more so that we have this kind of home feel that we can also meet their needs on an individual style basis, because we don't want everyone to feel like they're getting a cookie cutter plan, but an individual meal plan, an individual as far as any type of meeting your needs plan, regardless of what it may be. All right. So from here, nutrition area here, this is the home down, sit down feel, and then as you go over here in this next session over there, we can walk over here actually. So in this next session over here, you'll see this is our grab and go area. All right. So from this grab and go area, Major Burn, my God, how you doing? Let's go say hello. Hello. How are you? You're doing good. Doing good. Good. So as you'll see here in the grab and go area, this is right that they can go right in and out from the weight room into sports medicine, if you will, and then make sure that they always have something in their hands. We have guys on protocol to make sure that we are recovering and make sure that we have any type of soft tissue. If they have any type of soft tissue injuries or if they're hurting in that standpoint, we have what they need from a supplementation standpoint. If we have anything for concussion protocols, if we have anything for any type of rehabilitation, we'll have all that stuff for them here, so that way there's no reason for them to miss what they need to have, okay? So, like I said, from there, from this grab and go area, now they can come in, it's more so of a footprint to where no one's feeling claustrophobic because that was something that was missing. And then guys can now make sure that they have the shakes that they need. They can make sure they have the supplements that they need, quick snacks, everything they need to make sure that they are hydrated well and performing well right before they get into the weight room, and also right before they get into the athletic training room. Because that's the one thing that we've been missing as well. It's something to make sure that they have the right tools so that way that the things can connect the dots and the pieces for recovery and performance. All right. So that's our biggest thing as far as from here. And then from the screens here, we're always educating. So right now, like I said, it's a sit-down field, but this is where I will also educate the guys on what they need to do. So for instance, like when we go into USC, so we have the time zone change, hydration strategies, as far as meal timing strategies too, and to make sure that these guys are staying up to par for the transition so we can perform to our optimal level on Sunday. So preseason physicals, right? So in that preseason physical, they'll also get their blood work done. So I'll track any deficiencies from what their labs will tell me that help as far as dictate how much I need to give them from particular supplementations, right? And then also from there, we also track and see what their body composition is. We like to have a reference between their body composition for what they are currently up to what the NFL, what you're going to see when you go to the NFL. Because I want to make sure I'm providing the tools they need to get them to that point. And also so they can have a successful career at that standpoint as well. Because they're not done maturing as soon as they get here. They're still developing between the ages of 23 to 27, right? So I want to make sure that we're getting the best ability for them to develop, and we're not hindering any type of their development too. So yes, from preseason physicals to blood work analysis to body composition assessments 5 times in a year, pre and post spring, pre and post summer, and then also we'll have a mid-season evaluation. Instead of doing it at the end of the season, middle of the season, to make sure that we're staying on track and make sure that we're trying to reduce any type of lean muscle mass loss, because if you retain lean muscle mass, then you got a better chance of not being injured. So
When you talk to NFL guys when they come for different stuff, I mean,
Yep.
what kind of feedback do you get on the plan that you guys have? And is it pretty up to par with what you're seeing across the country, or is it different than everything else?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I think it's almost better, truth be told. So I'm always gonna say it as far as like, I want them to have access to what you're gonna see at the next level, but also even more, because then they're also gonna have resources that they have to find on their own, right? So I want them to understand and know what they need to find on their own too, whether it be as far as personal chefs, all right? Rather be as far as working with any type of physical therapist, if you will, from Owen Space, making sure that they know what supplements to use on that side of it too. Because you never know what they have as far as when it comes to the person that they're working with at that level, but I wanna make sure that they know from a standpoint that they truly understand their bodies and what to do for their bodies in certain situations.
The back half of the last bit of the tour, man. I appreciate you guys coming through. Once again, as Mike said, my name is Jake Flint. I'm the Director of Athletic Development here at LSU. And I kind of say that, and I wanted you guys to kind of, feel the flow of how we, put together this. And that was the biggest thing, and just today giving you guys a little inside look and how it went from the training room to the nutrition area, obviously into the weight room. Typically, we go the other way around. A lot of times, obviously, they'll start in here, do our training session or practice, whatever it may be, and work into the nutrition area, work into the training room. But just to kind of feel the efficiency and the flow of it, And once again, let's go back to how we describe ourselves. It's about athletic development. And if you guys don't know, I've been with Coach Kelly for going on 21 years, so a long time. And I say that just because I understand the pride and what it takes for the total process of how we prepare our guys, and it comes from development. It's truly development from day one when they get here, and so that's where it's a fancy name for a head strength coach, and that's what I'm known as a strength coach. But you can see it along the signs of LSU athletic development. If you turn around, that's what it's all about, is having the path to elite performance, because that's what it's all about, is making sure these guys understand that it's not just lifting weights and running, but it's everything, right? It's all those things combined with practicing and recovering well, and having the ability and having the modalities to recover. And that includes all the calories. We were just talking about that. All the calories that they have available to them. There's no questions that they have every bit of opportunity for success. That's the biggest thing for us and for myself and my staff, is to make sure we put them in position to succeed, because that's really what it comes down to. The work and the traits that they have to bring every day. The message is similar, and it's the same across the board. That's where I can lean into my experience with Coach Kelly, with BK, being here, with him for 21 years through the MAC and through the Big East and through the last place we were at, and now we get to here, and now we get to really tie it all in. And that was the biggest thing that we wanted to kind of showcase with this with this new structure, this new building, this new facility is you guys have to understand how important it is for all of us to come together and collaborate and be cohesive in what we do. Every single day, me and Dr. Frakes and Owen Stanley, along with our position coaches, with Coach Kelly, with everybody, are communicating. And it's all together, you know, to put the plan together. It's not just, I'm going to focus on guys having bigger squat or more of a bench press. That stuff really doesn't matter to me. It's going to happen, and it needs to be a part of what we do, but it's about how we can work together to take, you know, maybe a guy that needs to gain more weight or lose weight or keep the same weight and modify his body composition, or, you know, have him, you know, get more capacity on the field. And it comes from all those things. Knowing when they're on a Thursday, if they're answering the questionnaire and they're letting us know, hey, I didn't sleep that well, I'm a little stressed out, we can put them in a sleep pod, we can put them in a nap pod, and make sure that they can get the proper rest and regeneration before 48 hours out from the game. And now that we have all those things at our fingertips, we know that we can use them and push into them. So that's kind of the biggest thing is that we wanted to emphasize is just that collaboration and the cohesiveness between all of our staffs to make sure that you guys understand that it's not just working out hard or, you know, eating a lot or well, or, you know, recovering and having those things. It's all together as one. That's how we, you know, and that's Coach Kelly from the top down putting that together. And he always talks about it, total preparation. And that's truly what it's about. Preparing on the field, preparing off the field, preparing in the off season and getting to it.
That is